everyone, it's Lel, and it's time to talk about episode 9 from MEW MEW MEW, which was a great episode, very funny and kind of emotional too. But before we talk about the episode itself, I just need to get it out of my system. I am wearing green again because we Lettuce Stands won once more. Last episode we had Lettuce's transformation, which was amazing, and in this episode we had the full animation of the Bone Lettuce Rush, which is her attack. Whoa! What was that? I was shook. I loved that animation. It's my favorite attack from MEW MEW MEW. It's really amazing. Girl, I am so happy to be a Lettuce stan right now. I love her so much and just loved that animation. And I feel like this episode is really nice for a couple of reasons. The first one is that now the Mew Mews have kind of a mission, which is to search for the Mew Aqua that appeared in the last episode. It's nice that the mission of a magical girl, I like it when the mission isn't only protecting from the attacks. And like, for now it was protecting from the attacks of aliens. And now they have a little more, which is protect from the aliens and search for Mew Aqua. And we saw Lettuce resonating with the Mew Aqua last episode, so they have this power. It's nice. And I also enjoyed another aspect of this episode, which was Ichigo questioning her own mission as a magical girl. If I wasn't a magical girl, I would be able to spend more time with the guy I like, which is reasonable for a teenager like Ichigo, who is being able to experience her first love, and her feelings seem to be reciprocated. So she is able to experience that, but there are so many things going on in her life. So that little moment of her questioning herself makes sense, but it's not enough to detract herself from her mission anyways. So it's just very human. We tend to think sometimes things that we wouldn't actually do, but we would at least start considering them in our minds. So that is something that I really liked about this episode. And I feel like for this episode to be able to hit the mark so well as it did, some other episodes had to happen. Like we had that episode that wasn't the best one, which was Ichigo's and Aoyama's date, and it works now. Like looking back, this episode today worked very well because we root for Ichigo and Aoyama. Even though I know lots of people who ship Ichigo with Kishu or with Hideo, and I mean, everything's valid, but I particularly think that Aoyama is the best fit for Ichigo, so I like seeing those moments now. And I'm not the biggest person on romance. And for it also to work, we had to have a build-up on the girls' relationships and their friendships. So it was very nice seeing that all the girls seem to be going through the same thing, which is having a hard time dealing with their personal lives and their lives as Mew Mews, because they're all running late for their work. We have some sort of plot for Mint, because Mint has the opportunity of studying abroad for 3 years, and she might not be able to go if she wants to focus on her mission as a Mew Mew. And she is gonna think about it, and we haven't seen much of it in this episode, but it's definitely gonna play a big part on her character sometime in the series. Even though the series is almost over, I'm really praying for the second season, and I'm hoping that we are gonna have more. And so we have this, and we also have the girls' friendships, because when they see Ichigo is suffering for overworking, for having so many things to do and not being able to spend time with Aoyama, they all get together to help her. And that plan was so funny. So funny. And at the same time, we have Aoyama trying to invite Ichigo for the show, and he's not able to do that. And that is so real as well. Like sometimes we are thinking too much of something and we're trying to make it work, but we don't find an opening for that. That is so real, and like I can really see myself in situations like that in real life. Like sometimes I want to tell a friend or someone I like that I want to do something with them, but I don't find a right opening. I mean, I used to be like that. Not anymore, because you grow up and you just talk. Like, it's easier to just talk. But when you're younger, like, I can't understand it being very hard for someone like Aoyama, especially for someone like Aoyama who doesn't really know how to deal with feelings in general. And so everything about the plan was super nice, and it's nice seeing Zakuro so engaged because she also feels part of the group, and she also feels like she is a friend to the girls as well. And I like that. And then we have Ichigo and Aoyama meeting and Kishu appearing. And obviously, as I always say, Kishu is such a great villain. He is amazing. He enrages us every time. And then we have the fighting scene. And the fighting scene for me was a little weird at the start because I felt like Ichigo wasn't giving it her all. Because especially after the other girls arrived, like you could really see that they could do so many things, and she wasn't. She was kind of watching, and that scene was important because she, at that moment, knew how important that package was for Aoyama, and how he was giving it his own life, his own security to protect it, and that made her like more emotional towards him. And then we had another important scene when they were trapped in that crystallized shield. And at that moment, Aoyama asked her, "Why are you fighting?" And you can see that that doesn't really seem to be Aoyama. You know, like there were big bags under his eyes. Girl, Aoyama, I totally know how that feels. My eyes, there are always bags under them. But I totally know how that feels. And that scene, as I said, was interesting. I don't like... I feel like when Ichigo said, like, "Why am I fighting? It's pointless." At the same time, I feel like it was a little weird because last episode she was already looking at nature and saying things like, "Well, this is what I'm fighting for." So she knows what she's fighting for. And questioning that was a little weird. At the same time, it makes sense because it's a person just wanting to enjoy her life, just wanting to enjoy that little moment with the guy she likes. So, you know, I feel a little torn about that scene because of this. Like, it's been a while since Ichigo became Mew Ichigo, and it's also been a while since she noticed what she is fighting for. So questioning that specifically doesn't make much sense, but questioning the fact that she has to fight, and if she weren't a magical girl, she would have more time for the things she likes, it makes a lot of sense. And the rest of the fighting scene, like, you know, Zakuro arriving, and it's so funny when you think of it, like, Ichigo seems to be the strongest one because she's always, or almost always, the finisher. She could not break the shield, but Zakuro broke it so easily with her cross. And then we had, you know, just the girls using their attacks, which was lovely too because of Lettuce's attack. Honey, Lettuce, you are so amazing. Reborn Let's Rush is everything. But, you know, Ichigo just finished it all with her own attack with Strawberry Check. And, you know, at the end, Aoyama was able to invite her to the show. Finally. And I'm happy for them. I'm honestly happy for them. I feel like I'm rooting for this couple, which is something I don't usually do. And Aoyama and Ichigo, they make a good couple, and I feel like they make sense together. And there were other moments in this episode that I found very sweet. One of them was Lettuce saying how her life changed after she met Ichigo. All of them, I feel like for everybody, this makes sense. But I feel like for Lettuce, it was the biggest change. Because of Ichigo, you know, it was the biggest change in her life. And I'm happy, you know, I love Lettuce, so I am happy with that. And you know, lots of funny moments, funny faces, funny memes. Girl, this episode had it all. Anyways, this was my view on episode 9 from Tokyo Mew Mew Mew. What did you think of it? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Are you happy with Lettuce's attack? Girl, I just loved it so much. Anyways, just want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you are a member, thank you very much for your support. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!